Hi, I hope you're having a lovely day. For a while, I've been drafting and redrafting video scripts, and none of them have really stuck with me. Magnus Archive OC video thing notwithstanding, that one's written and will be coming soon if people are interested. But that mental block, on top of art school, has been a bit of a lot, so I decided to have a more laid-back sort of video where I just ramble about art I've made recently and altogether have a nice time. The first piece is the first thing I properly drew after college started, and one I still quite like. It features my original character, Belladonna Fox from my comic, and if you look very closely, it is in fact a gay pining piece. One thing I really wanted to focus on with this one was improving my ability to draw buildings and backgrounds in general. Now, I actually really like drawing backgrounds, getting all the little details in and making the place look lived in, but I feel like I haven't actively been practicing them in a while, specifically because I really want to improve my character art and sense of anatomy, those things I'm still working on right now. I always try to remind myself that art's not a race and that not everything needs to be perfect all the time, but that I can always work to improve. I really loved doing the colors on this one. Color is one of the many things I feel like I'm constantly fighting against, but I think I'm starting to like these more muted color palettes that only really use a very specific small spectrum of colors that I've been doing lately. I'm not really sure if I'm explaining that right, but if you want me to do a video on how I personally do colors, you could comment that, I guess. I mean, I'd be happy to. I'm just not an expert and very much have a lot to learn and don't super know what I'm doing. I keep going back and forth with this drawing as to whether or not I should have put something in the sky since it's just kind of like nothingness up there, but I am actually very happy with the way it turned out. This next piece is a bit of an epic, the musical fan art I did, and if you are into musicals and or Greek mythology, or if you just like music, I definitely recommend checking this out. If you have TikTok, which I don't, but if you do, you have definitely heard some of it before. Epic the Musical is basically a concept album for a musical adaptation of the Odyssey split into several sagas, each one dealing with a different emotional arc or group of monsters Odysseus is dealing with, written by Jorge Rivera Herranz. I didn't expect to like it nearly as much as I did when my friend showed it to me, and the songs are incredibly well written, and the entire thing is just pretty beautiful. They do change like a lot of things from the original canon, that being the Odyssey, but are definitely aware of those changes, as it's literally called a loose adaptation of the Odyssey on the official website. I do think it's a really good story, and all of the singers are phenomenal, which is why I ended up drawing fan art for it. This piece of art is based on the song Legendary, which is in the Wisdom Saga, about Odysseus' son Telemachus. There's a few things I'd change about this piece if I were revisiting it today, but I still quite like how the drawing turned out. First, I do think the colors are still fun, and I like the idea of the composition that's happening here with him reaching out and all the little monsters being in the tangled-esque yellow thing that's supposed to be representing his big dreams. I really liked drawing his expression here, as well as little word bubbles. I do think there's some incorrect anatomy I could fix, as well as giving the ledge he's leaning on some more detail, but overall, I still think it's pretty fun. Next is a Magnus Archives fan art piece because, what can I say, this podcast has forever altered my brain chemistry and there is no going back. This one was really fun to draw and was also a case of, man, I want to draw something that's not school. John and Martin are kind of my comfort ship, which, yes, is ironic considering neither of them will ever have comfort ever in their lives, and I thought they deserved a soft sort of moment with this dance. Also, I actually looked at a reference for this drawing. I know, looking at references for art? Unthinkable. But all that aside, I actually do have a problem with looking up references, mostly because I tend to scroll through Pinterest for about 30 minutes, give up, and then just kind of guesstimate it, which is bad. Don't do that. I think using references is very helpful, and every time I use one, I always feel like my pieces look more grounded and better in general. For example, here are a couple of pieces I actually used references for, versus pieces I had no references for. While I do like some of the no references for ones, you see what I mean? Basically, pro references. I just forget. I'm gonna get better at that over the course of the year. And then one last one, which was technically from Inktober, but I'm currently pretending I didn't do Inktober because I failed. I did it successfully last year, technically. I I think I was like a day off or something, but I got all the drawings done. But this year with college and my comic and everything, I didn't have as much time to work on the pieces as I would have liked. And then I was getting frustrated that like the less nice pieces were taking up space on my Instagram grid, which is a dumb thing to give up Inktober for, but that is why I gave up at like day 9. I did not get very far. But this illustration I did for day 6, Trek. I really like underwater stuff and marine biology and things like that, which is why I actually do want to lock in and draw more of it in general. But anyway, this was basically just an excuse for me to have fun with colors and draw goofy little fish. Since I was just objectively having more fun with this piece than I was with like certain other Inktober's, I actually still like how this one turned out, even if it is not perfect. Anyway, I thought I'd mention some of my personal art goals for this year. And yes, it's theoretically November when this video goes up, but with the everything in the world going on, I thought I'd make a little goals section anyway to keep myself from going insane. Making a little list of things you want to improve on over the course of a long period of time, if you're being kind to yourself about it, can help with streamlining what you want to study and improve on during that period of time instead of just kind of flailing about and hoping you'll improve. So basically, this year I want to get better at drawing character poses and people in general, honestly, practicing characters emoting more, trying out more painterly, more rendered style, like at least once because they look very neat and I like them. And then just work on hands. Hands are just an endless uphill battle. This is just how it is. And that just about wraps up this video. I almost added a few more drawings, but I didn't want this video to be too long since the entire point was originally to be just a more like chill, sketchbooky video format, except for the fact that I didn't use a sketchbook, but that doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed watching me draw these things and ramble about them. And if you liked this video, you could leave a like or a subscribe or comment down below with your thoughts. This last, God, when was the last time I posted? 3 months have been kind of crazy for me, and I'm very happy to be making videos again. I'll be trying to make monthly videos, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure how consistent I'll be since school's getting a bit hectic in general. Maybe I should do a video about that. Anyway, closing thoughts as per usual, drink water, be nice to yourself, and keep drawing.